The San Francisco Giants have found their hidden gem. One of the more undervalued prospects acquired at the trade deadline has broken out in a huge way. We're going to be breaking down his past few weeks here on SF Giants Digest. Make sure to go down below and hit the subscribe button, as we will have all of the major breaking news, rumors, all of the speculation around this offseason here on the channel. So make sure to go down below and hit the subscribe button. It is completely free. Join the family. You will not miss a thing this offseason. Now, getting into today's topic, we are talking about one of the players acquired in the Camilo Doval trade. Now, this is from Robert Murray, one of the big MLB insiders for Fansided. He said the Giants returned from the Yankees in exchange for reliever Camilo Doval. Sources say Jesus Rodriguez, Parks Harber, Tristan Vierling, and DSL pitcher Carlos De La Rosa. Now, immediately when this trade broke, obviously this is the tweet from the trade deadline, minutes after the deadline, but immediately when this trade broke, I was a bit surprised at the return. Based off some of the prices that teams were paying for relievers in the market this past season, I assumed that the Giants would get, one of the Yankees' top 5 prospects for Camilo Doval. Maybe a Spencer Jones, even a Jason Dominguez, a guy who's seen big league time. Some of their big prospects I assumed would be heading to the Giants. I was extremely excited when I saw that Doval was heading to the Yankees right when the clock struck, 3 p.m. on that day. But when I saw the return, I was a little bit underwhelmed. But after some research, I noticed that there are some high upside pieces. Jesus Rodriguez appears to be kind of the platoon option with Patrick Bailey for the Giants' future. He's a guy who hits for a lot of average, hits from the right side. We know Patrick Bailey hits better from the left side, so he was kind of the premier prospect of the package. He's a guy who still needs a little bit of development on the defensive side of things as a catcher, but he was still the number one prospect in the package. Parks Harber was the other guy. He was a bit undervalued because he was a little old to be playing in high A, but the numbers were very good, and he is the guy we are going to talk about in this video. Tristan Vierling, a right-handed pitcher, and then the DSL pitcher Carlos De La Rosa, who is kind of a flyer of a prospect. He's in the DSL, throws really hard from the left side, good slider. The command is a bit concerning, but like I said, we are talking about Parks Harber in this video, and some of you may be asking, why are we randomly talking about one of the prospects coming from the deadline, a few months after the deadline actually happened? And that is because he had an amazing season in the Arizona Fall League. The Fall League, for those that don't know, is about a month long. It's just a league in Arizona where teams can send prospects that they either want to get more reps or get more looks at. Scouts go there to watch some prospects for trades in the offseason, stuff like that. It's just a league that they send some of their prospects to get looks at. And Parks Harber was one of the players the Giants sent to this league, and he performed extremely well. These are the best hitters in the Fall League based off of OPS. You see Parks Harber there at 4th with a 1.196 OPS. Anything over 1,000 is absolutely awesome. I mean, if you're over 800, you had a good whatever run it was, a few weeks, a season, whatever it may be. Over 1,100 is absolutely insane. /383, 513, 683, 3 home runs, 15 RBIs. Just a really solid month-long stretch. It was 17 games, so really solid numbers in the 60 at-bats he put up. And it really put his name onto the prospect scene, per se. Like I said, he was undervalued when the trade broke because of how old he was to be in high A, but the numbers he put up prior to coming to the Giants were very good as well. Some of the advanced metrics were also very good for him in the AFL. A max exit velocity of 114.3 miles an hour, which is in the 95th percentile. An average exit velocity of 94.6, which is also in the 95th percentile. For those that don't know, when you see a graph like this for advanced metrics, you want to see a lot of red. Red means that whatever that stat is, whatever that metric is, red means that they are very good in that stat. And you see it: hard hit rate, barrel percentage, exit velocities, max distance, all in the red. WOBA, bat speed. He just has a lot of ability to hit the ball hard. And the whiff percentage is something that he could work on. The strikeout percentage is something he could work on. But when you're hitting the ball this hard, this consistently, and with putting up exit velocities like that, you're going to find a lot of success no matter what level you're at. And hopefully this translates to him, I would assume, starting the year in AA. But we'll have to wait and see where that happens, of course, when we get to the regular season. The Giants have taken notice of this extremely impressive performance. This is from Alex Pavlovich of NBC Sports Bay Area. This is from Zach Manassian on the Giants Talk podcast. He said, for him not maybe getting a lot of attention nationally or in the media, he surely got a lot of attention in our room. It's a credit to Hadi Rod, our pro scouting director, Josh Zimmerman, our director of player procurement, and Paul Bien, and a lot of our scouts who were on Parks. I think what he has shown in the fall league is just a continuation of what he did all last year in A-ball and high A, and that's just hit. He can hit, he impacts the baseball, he's shown decently at third base, maybe even better than what we expected. There's maybe a chance to move him on the field and see where he is comfortable defensively, but I think the bat is real, and it has been fun to watch. And here he said it's been a continuation of what he did all last year. And that is absolutely true. Here are his regular season numbers. In 2024 with the Yankees, /269, 389, 449, a 141 WRC plus in 95 plate appearances. A bit of a limited sample size, but that was his draft year. He still performed extremely well. Now this season, he took a step forward and put up really, really good numbers with the Yankees before coming over to San Francisco, obviously. Some really good numbers, a 169 WRC plus in low A, a 160 WRC plus in high A. And then after coming over to the Giants is where he really, really took a step forward and showed some extremely impressive numbers. A 333, 454, 644 slash line, 7 home runs. He saw a big jump in power when coming over the Giants. I'm not sure if that was the environment, the weather, the climate, or if the Giants really saw something in his swing and said, hey, do this, you'll hit the ball out of the park more. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see if anything comes out on that. But still, 24 RBIs. He saw a huge jump in production since coming to the Giants. He was good before, don't get me wrong. Really, really good. But hit for a higher average, a much higher slug, 644 compared to a 489 slug in high A with the Yankees. So overall, since coming to the Giants, the majority of his numbers have seen a huge, huge jump. And one that really sticks out to me is the strikeout rate. You see in 2024, 2025, he's been around a 24, 25 strikeout percentage. With the Giants, it was only a 20% strikeout rate. And that was in 100 plate appearances. So it wasn't like it was, a sample size of 30 plate appearances. It was 100, so it was over an extended period of time. So I think that is something to follow, is the Giants are finally showing a slight ability to develop. I don't want to give them too much credit yet because it hasn't necessarily translated to big league talent. But in the lower minors, we're starting to see some excitement build with the Giants farm system. It's been a lackluster system for basically a decade. A lot of exciting prospects, a lot of top-tier talent fizzling out in the upper minors. But all of a sudden, there is some extreme excitement at the lower levels with a Johnny Level, a Parks Harber, Joshua Gonzalez. There is some excitement in the Giants system that we have not seen in a long, long time, and it's consistent. For the first time in a while, it's a lot of position players and not pitchers. So that is something to follow for the next year, the next few years, to see how these guys develop when they rise levels, face tougher competition, things of that nature. Now, he is the 21st ranked prospect according to MLB.com, and their rankings are a little interesting sometimes. Sometimes they're undervaluing guys, sometimes they're overvaluing guys. 21 makes sense for Parks Harber right now. He is still old to have finished the year in high A, but like I said, the AFL showing was extremely, extremely impressive. I think it put his name on the map in a huge way. I do think if he continues to hit the way he has in the lower minors, in the AFL, if he puts up numbers like that in Double A next year, maybe even reaches Triple A and puts up similar numbers, he is undoubtedly going to be a top 10 to 15 prospect in the system. And one thing that I think needs to be talked about is this guy, I fully believe, will have a lot of reps in right field next season, early on next season, because we know the right field situation with the Giants. Drew Gilbert, defensive stud, but we don't know what the bat is. It might be a fourth outfield is the ceiling. They just brought in Joey Weimer, I believe is how it's pronounced. Not a huge hit tool there. We've seen Luis Matos. We know what Marco Luciano is at this point. So there's a lot of question marks in right field. If Parks Harber can hit like this, or anything close to it at AAA, at the big league level, and he can play a serviceable right field, then that is your solution. He's controllable. He's experienced at this point. He's 23 years old. He might be 24 now. I'm not sure. But an older guy, mature. He's a guy that had to work for what he's gotten in Pro Bowl. This article comes from MLB.com. I think it's Jonathan Mayo. I could be wrong, but go check him out over there if you want to see this full article. He said, none of this is new for the right-handed hitter. He spent 3 years at Georgia, smashing 18 homers with a 917 OPS in his junior season. After not getting drafted in 23, he transferred to North Carolina for his senior year, put up better numbers, a 343, 425, 648 slash line with 20 home runs, Despite the big season, his name was not called in the 2024 draft. He signed with the Yankees for $50,000 as an undrafted free agent. So that's a big thing here. He's put up extremely productive numbers in his minor league seasons. Just about a year and a half he's been in the minor leagues, and every single stop he's had has been productive offensively. And he's done that as an undrafted free agent for only $50,000. A lot of times undrafted guys get, $100,000, $150,000. If the team they're signing with really values them, $50,000 is kind of standard, maybe a little bit below. But he's produced at every level, even while being an undrafted free agent. Parks Harber actually said, I get asked about not getting drafted a lot. I didn't deserve to get drafted. If I didn't get drafted, they didn't feel I did enough to get drafted. I didn't put myself in a place to be a no-brainer pick. For me, that was just more motivation to get better. I didn't take it as a slight or anything. I took it as an opportunity to say, hey, these teams didn't think you were good enough, so what can I do to put myself on the map? It was exciting. It was a challenge. I like competition. And I think that is awesome. I mean, the Giants are full of guys who were, top prospects. Willy Adames was a highly ranked prospect. Devers was, of course. Even Drew Gilbert was a guy who got drafted in the first round towards the end of it, and he was a part of that huge team at Tennessee. So the Giants are full of guys that have come up and been, big names to follow when rising through systems, even if it was the Giants or not. Parks Harbor's a guy who was undrafted, only signed for $50K. He really had to work for what he's gotten at this point in his professional career. And he said he's had to make a lot of adjustments to get to where he is. Facing velo was something that he said he had to focus on big time. He said everyone throws 97, 98. Now I had to work on it a lot. And I think that is huge for this Giants team. I think it'd be a lot of fun for him to, play a serviceable right field, like I said, come up. And if he can't, it's a big if. Trust me, I know it's a big if. A lot of you in the comments are going to say, you're just assuming this kid can come up and play right field and hit. I know, that's a big if. But if he can, that would be huge for this Giants team. It'd give them a bit of an underdog mentality in the clubhouse, a guy who had to work for where he is at in pro ball. And I think this is a huge story to follow for anyone involved with the Giants if they enjoy following prospects. I think this is a name to watch in the early months of the 2026 season. He's a guy who, like I said, I would assume he starts in AA, but he could, hit like he has in every stop so far at AA and quickly make his way to AAA. And who knows, if he rakes like he has, we could see him in the big leagues at the end of next year if it's another mediocre season from the Giants. That's what we've seen a lot recently, so it's probably a safe bet, but hopefully this year goes a bit better and we don't see him. But either way, a huge breakout for Parks Harber with the Giants so far since coming over in the Camilo Doval trade. Put up huge numbers, a huge power uptick, a downtick in strikeout rate, which is huge for this Giants team that always struggles with strikeouts. And then, of course, in the AFL, one of the best hitters in the league in 17 games, 60 plate appearances, the fourth best OPS in the league during that month-long stretch down in Arizona. Make sure to follow Parks Harber in the 2026 season. Let me know down in the comments what you think. Do you think he's going to come up and be a big league contributor, an everyday regular with the San Francisco Giants? Or do you think he's another hyped-up prospect who is going to fizzle out at the AA or AAA level? Let me know down in the comments, and make sure to subscribe to SF Giants Digest.